Give Us the Spirit of the Child by Sarah Moores Campbell. Give us the spirit of the child. Give us the child who lives within, the child who trusts, the child who imagines, the child who sings, the child who receives without reservation, the child who gives without judgment. Give us a child's eyes, that we may receive the beauty and freshness of this day like a sunrise. Give us a child's ears, that we may hear the music of mythical times. Give us a child's heart, that we may be filled with wonder and delight. Give us a child's faith, that we may be cured of our cynicism. Give us the spirit of the child, who is not afraid to need, who is not afraid to love. As summer draws near, we light our chalice this morning in honor of summer days and light and warmth and the adventures that await. May we greet each day with the spirit of the child, filled with wonder and delight, open to new things, grateful for each day, and unafraid to love.
Welcome to First Parish in Bedford, a Unitarian Universalist congregation where we come together every week as a people with diverse beliefs and a shared commitment to bring more peace, love, and justice into the world. Whoever you are, whomever you love, whether you worship one God, many gods, or no God, you are welcome here. I'm Reverend Annie Gonzalez, your Minister of Faith Development, and I want to warmly welcome all of you who are here this morning, especially our youth choirs and families, and also all those who are here joining us on Zoom. Thank you for being with us this morning. If you are newer to our community, you can find a blue connection card to fill out in one of the pews, or you can find a link in the chat on Zoom, and that will help you connect with us more deeply. This is an all-ages service. You may have noticed we had a lot of young people singing to us already. Fantastic. So there is no separate kids programming, but all young people are invited to fully participate in this morning's service. And we have a basket of fidgets over there if you need something to do with your hands, whatever age you might be. We have a few announcements this morning. The Environmental Justice Committee would like you to know that this is the last Sunday that the public comment period to stop private jet expansion at Hanscom or anywhere will be helping you out in the common room to submit a comment. So if you would like assistance with your public comment, please go find them. This is your chance to do it. Also, we're starting something new called a Flower Express. You may have heard of Cookie Express. Well, this is the Flower Express, and it's going to be happening next Sunday after our flower communion. And we've had a lot of folks who are contributing flowers and assembling bouquets, which is deeply appreciated by the lay pastoral care team who is hosting this. And we just need a few more folks to sign up to actually bring the flowers to the parishioners that we're trying to visit with these flowers. And so if you would love to go visit someone from First Parish who maybe has a hard time getting to the church in person, please do that. There will be a sign-up genius sent out once again, so keep an eye out for it. Or ask someone on the lay pastoral care team how to get involved. And also, today after worship, Maureen Riccici is holding an Ask an End-of-Life Doula session. You may have seen that. And I just wanted to note it will actually be in the Bacon Room and not in room 204. So please do attend that gathering at 11:30 if you have any questions about the end of life that you would like to ask an end-of-life doula, who we are so lucky to have at First Parish. And then before we move on, I have an announcement from Eloise Carroll. There she is. Eloise Carroll has an announcement for us that she'd like to make.
Hi, I'm Eloise Carroll. Last week, I rode my bike to Lexington with my mom and discovered that there's a new monument dedicated to the herstory of women in Lexington. I'd love to see something similar to this in Bedford, and I'm beginning to collect the names of people who would be interested in participating in a preliminary brainstorming meeting If you'd be interested, please come and find me at Community Hour.
Yes, so if you want to see some famous women be honored in Bedford in an artistic manner, find Eloise. And with that, I would invite you to rise in body or in spirit and join in our unison affirmation printed in your order of worship. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. El amor es el espíritu de esta iglesia, y el servicio es su ley. Este es nuestro gran pacto, vivir juntos en paz, buscar la verdad en espíritu de amor, y ayudarnos los unos a los otros. Thank you. So, our morning hymn this morning comes to us, at least the words are widely attributed to Jalaluddin Rumi, the Muslim Sufi poet and mystic, though some dispute whether Rumi actually authored these words. Either way, the words come to us from an ancient poem in the Muslim tradition. It urges us to return, to repent, to come back. It says, even if you have broken your vows 1,000 times, still God's love is available to you. And that line about breaking your vows is not in the UU hymnal, but it is in the poem, and we've sung it before together as a drone under the song. Today we'll just sing the hymn as it's printed in our hymnal, but we will hold in our heart that context, knowing that these words that come to us across time and tradition and translation are reminding us that whoever we are, and whether or not we believe we are worthy, and no matter how many times we've made mistakes or fallen short, we are still beloved. We can still come back into covenant. Love is here.
So if you've turned to page 188 in your hymnal, you'll notice it's a round, and it's a 4-part round. So we're going to do it in a 4-part round as a 4-part round. So normally I would do 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? Except one's a little sparse over here. So I'm going to say 1 plus first row, 1 and 1, and then you guys are number 2, you're number 3, you're number 4. We'll sing it all together once, and then we'll split off and do it twice more in a round. So please rise in body or spirit, and let's sing Come, Come, Whoever You Are, page 188.
creating beloved community where we celebrate diversity and welcome all people and affirm the inherent worth and dignity, the beloved nature of all people is one of the most important things we do as Unitarian Universalist congregations. It is central to our faith. I'm about to share a story about that, but I want to say we do that in lots of different ways, and so I wanted to draw your attention to a new way that you may have noticed in which we're celebrating all of the different ways that bodies and minds show up here at First Parish, and that is we have a new flag out facing the common. We have our flag that is the Pride Progressive flag that celebrates LGBTQ plus people. We've added a new flag. It is a sort of rainbow infinity symbol on a light blue background. That is a flag celebrating neurodiversity, all of the ways that people show up in their neurological orientation to the world. So just another way that we want to extend our welcome. Now I'm going to share a true story by the Reverend Joanna Fontaine Crawford, who is the minister at Live Oak UU in Cedar Park, Texas, kind of Austin area. This is a true story from her congregation. It is one of my favorite things that I've ever heard in the world, so I hope you enjoy it as well. So, this is Joanna Fontaine Crawford. She says, there was a single mother in our congregation who had 2 young children, a daughter and a son. Seeing the painted fingernails of his mom and sister, the little boy wanted to join in on the fun. How he loved having painted fingernails. He waved his hands around, giggling with happiness. He loved experimenting with all of the different colors. His delight was cut short when he began being bullied at school. His mother shared what was happening with her friends at church like you do, and somehow the word got around and the word got out to the men in the church. The following Sunday, men of all ages showed up at our church, Joanna Fontaine Crawford's church, with painted fingernails. Teenagers, business types, old men. Some of them even brought bottles of nail polish so that the men who hadn't heard the news yet could paint their fingernails too. The little boy's face when he saw that, his mouth was an O of wonder. His eyes were lit up with joy. Mine were too, she continues. It was one of the most loving things I'd ever seen. She says, I have no idea what I preached on that day. It didn't matter because the most powerful sermon was happening out in the fellowship hall with Sally Hansen mauve-over nail polish. That night, he asked his mother about all those boys with the painted nails. They're Unitarian Universalists, she told him. Are we Unitarian Universalists? He asked. Well, I am, she said. He thought about it for several minutes and said, I'm one too. So in many of our congregations, we carefully craft curricula to teach the values of our faith, but sometimes the lessons just appear. That Sunday, all ages learned about nurturance masculinity, the alternative and antidote to toxic masculinity. We learned a new way of being an intentional intergenerational village, she says, of raising a child, and it all flowed from compassion, from wanting to give this little boy the message that he was his authentic self, that it was beautiful and worthy of being imitated, even by people of all generations much older than he. We are the hands and feet of love. Sometimes we are its fingernails too.
Okay, ready to go. Good morning to all. This is the time in our service where we invite our parishioners to share joys, concerns, or sorrows with us here at the candle stand. After we hear from those of us in the sanctuary, we will go to Zoom for those of us who are with us on Zoom. And I will be here at the candle stand at the end of the service if you'd like to light a candle in private. I am going to start things off with a candle of delight because our young people and we are all together this morning, and it's ever so special, so thank you for being here. Okay, I'm getting an indication that there's no one on Zoom that will be sharing this morning, so I will light one last candle for the joys, concerns, and sorrows that we hold in our hearts.
We like singing in parts this morning. So for our next hymn, it's 1009 in the Teal hymnal. It's called The Meditation on Breathing. So let me explain how it works. There are 3 parts to it. There's the melody, there's the descant, and there's the drone. You get to choose whatever part you'd like to sing. The object is in singing this is it's a meditation. So don't get wired that you don't get the other parts. What you do, can we just close our eyes for 1 second? Take in a deep breath and let it go. Do that again. Take in a deep breath and let it go. Now open your eyes again. That's what this should feel like. So whatever part you sing, it should be a meditation on breathing. 1009. Please rise in body or spirit. Annie will lead the tune, I will lead the descant, and Natan will lead the drone. And we'll start with the tune, then I'll start singing the descant, and then we'll start singing the drone. Again, sing whatever you want. I'll play a quick introduction.
I invite you now to join me in a responsive reading. It is number 657 in your gray or cloth-bound hymnal. So I will give everyone a moment to locate a hymnal and find reading number 657. It's towards the back then, 657. It's called It Matters What We Believe, and it's down on kind of the right bottom side of the page. 657. All right, this responsive reading is called It Matters What We Believe. The words are taken from the great Unitarian Universalist religious educator Sophia Lyon-Faz. I will read the non-italicized text, and then I invite you to join with me on the italicized text. It matters what we believe. Some beliefs are like walled gardens. They encourage exclusiveness and the feeling of being especially privileged. Other beliefs are expansive and lead the way into wider and deeper sympathies. Some beliefs are like shadows, clouding children's days with fears of unknown calamities. Other beliefs are like sunshine, blessing children with the warmth of happiness. Some beliefs are divisive, separating the saved from the unsaved, friends from enemies. Other beliefs are bonds in a world community where sincere differences beautify the pattern. Some beliefs are like blinders shutting off the power to choose one's own direction. Other beliefs are like gateways, opening wide vistas for exploration. Some beliefs weaken a person's selfhood. They blight the growth of resourcefulness. Other beliefs nurture self-confidence and enrich the feeling of personal worth. Some beliefs are rigid, like the body of death, impotent in a changing world. Other beliefs are pliable, like the young sapling, ever growing with the upward thrust of life.
Oh, can I? Yeah, thank you. So, as many of you know, we have been looking for a new religious educator here at First Parish in Bedford. And I cannot wait to tell you some good news, but it's the kind of news that isn't public yet. But I did want to let you know we've made progress. Good news is coming. And we had a really incredible team of people who spent a lot of time and energy looking at a lot of different, really excellent candidates. I have to say, people want to come work here, so that's a good thing. You should all feel good about that. And during this process, we had some disagreements. Imagine that, Unitarian Universalists who see things a little differently. And so we had some email exchanges, and we had a really good, not in person, it was on Zoom, but we had a good conversation, and we were talking about, seeing the process differently, and started to get into, a philosophical conversation about the difference between fairness and equity and justice. Classic UU stuff. And it was really great. And one of the lay leaders who had initially had some concerns and voiced her concerns about one of the steps I took was kind of saying, oh, I hope that's okay. And I said, yes, it wouldn't be Unitarian Universalism if we didn't see things differently. And that is true. One of the core things about our faith is that we do believe different things. That is something that's woven into the current 7 principles in our bylaws, the free and responsible search for truth and meaning, the right of conscience, and the use of the democratic process. These principles reflect our diverse beliefs. And it's also very explicitly in the new values that might be passed into our bylaws this summer under the value of pluralism that we draw on many different theological beliefs. And indeed, it does matter what we believe. The thing is, we can believe lots of different things, but it's also not anything goes. It's also not you can just believe any old thing or believe whatever you want. That's why it's a responsible search for truth and meaning. And I think one of the key things that we do in faith development, whether we're with the littlest kids or whether we're with elders or whether we're with the whole group mixed together, is try to figure out where those boundaries are, where a belief can go from being expansive and inviting into being more like a walled garden, where a belief can go from being a shadow to being sunshine. Because the thing is, you can believe in God, and you can believe in God in an expansive, loving, inclusive way. Or you can believe in God in a judgmental and rigid way that says, you are bad and I am good. Or you can be an atheist, and you can be an atheist in a loving, expansive way that is respectful of other beliefs. Or you can be an atheist in a rigid, judgmental, condescending way. Some beliefs can really go either way. But what if you believe that little boys should not wear nail polish. That one, maybe it's harder. But the thing is, you can believe that it is just beautiful and creative and lovely when little boys wear nail polish. Or you can believe, honestly, it's a little weird when little boys wear nail polish. But as long as you believe that kids, and in fact people of every age, should be accepted for who they are and the choices they make around their body and appearance and gender expression, that's what matters. The thing is, you can believe a lot of different things, but if you're believing it in a loving way, that's going to take you far. And I think that's why we say in this church, love is the spirit of this church. That's the first thing we say in our unison affirmation. And I think that's why they put love at the center of the new proposed values, whatever you think of them. I like the idea that love is at the center of our faith. That doesn't mean it's always an easy decision to figure out what beliefs are expansive and life-affirming and what beliefs are limiting and going to hurt people. The choice is not always clear, but as long as we take love as our litmus test, I think we'll be doing pretty well. And so I want to take a moment to thank some of the incredible people who have made faith development possible this year. And this year was an unusual year. We say that every year, but it's always true. And this year, as you know, we had the unexpected departure of our director of faith development for children. And so we had some really extra support from our volunteers in making this year happen. So I have a couple folks who are going to help me distribute some little gift, just a small token of appreciation to some folks. So Thalia, Vivian, and Moira, are you guys good to grab some baskets over here? You can each grab a basket. Awesome. And so I'm going to name some people. I'm going to switch mics, too, because my script's up there, and I don't have the people memorized. I'm going to name some people, and I'm also at the end going to name some categories of people, because literally if I named every single person who did a thing in faith development, we would be here a very long time because so many people helped out. So if I call your name or the category of thing you did, it would be awesome if you would raise your hand or stand up, whatever feels good, to signal it's me. And then one of our amazing assistants will bring you a little notebook and a little pen with an affirming message so that you can be thanked and delight in that. So the first group I want to thank is our Crossing Paths team, who taught our 6th and 7th graders. Y'all did a ton of work, and I know you really had to do a lot of planning and curriculum culling and things that maybe you didn't quite know you were signing up for. So thank you so much for stepping in and taking on that leadership when we had a little bit of a gap. And so that's Mariah Tumbleson-Shaw, Peter Cho, Noelle Denny Brown. You can start. You know who Mariah Tumbleson-Shaw is. You can start. You go. Let's go. Noelle Denny Brown, Christy Martin, and Carlo Faulkner Carroll. Yeah. That was awesome. I also want to thank our youth advisors, our senior youth advisors, who were a small and mighty team, keeping all kinds of senior youth activities going. And that was Bob Dowd, Mark Bailey, and Cecil Mercado. And we had our coming of age service, you already know, but Bob Dowd and Kath Van Prague were the key adults on that. I don't think either of them are here, but they're incredible. We had, I just mentioned, a search committee for our DFDC, and that was, again, Mariah Tumbleson-Shaw, Peter Cho, Kia Nickel, and also Kristen Hall. We had our regulars who really showed up on our Sundays morning program and our Wednesday afternoon programming, who were really consistent. Kristen Hall, who I just mentioned, also Dorothy Anderson-Perales, who I think is here somewhere. Yeah, there's Dorothy. Thank you, Dorothy. And also Melinda Ballou. In adult faith development, we had a Vesper service that Randy Courier just made happen consistently. So big thanks to Randy. I don't know if she's here, but big thanks to Randy Courier for Vespers. On our faith development committee, some people that you've already heard before: Mariah Tumbleson Shaw, Kristen Hall, also Ian Faulkner Carroll, and Eloise Carroll. And Nina Sanpal. Also Nina Sanpal, yeah. Those were our kids. And then on our junior youth, we had Mark Bailey and Dorothy Anderson Perales. We've heard of them before. On our senior youth team, we had Bob Dowd, Cecil Mercado. We've heard of them before. Also, Corinna Dogan West and Taylor Nichols were our youth reps. Yeah. And then on the adult faith development team, we had Jerry Ross, Doug Mooter, and Randy Courier. And I think Jerry, there's Jerry. And Doug's up there. Somebody go upstairs. Somebody go upstairs and get Doug. And somebody get Jerry. You can do it. I believe in you. There's some conferring among the helpers. Jerry's right there and Doug's upstairs. All right, thanks, Delia. Awesome. And then now I'm just going to name some categories. Small group ministry leaders. Did you lead a small group ministry? Wave, stand up, do something. Yes, look at all these small group ministry leaders. Yes. Did you ever come and support Games Club on a Wednesday? Did you ever do that? Yes. Look at all these people. Yes. Yes. I see the kids who came to Games Club raise their heads. Yes, you did support Games Club. You sure did. Did you ever come and help with junior youth group on a Wednesday afternoon? Did you ever help with junior youth group? Yes. And I was going to give a special shout out to Sarah Dorer, who always brings us a service project that we do at junior youth group. She brings us these bags that we help create for the food pantry. We just reinforce the bags they use, but it's actually very important, and the kids are really good at doing it quickly. They're like a little assembly line. So Sarah Dorer for the shout out for the service project. Did you ever show up on a Sunday morning for the pre-K through 5th group upstairs or a quiet Sunday? Did you ever help out with me or another volunteer on a pre-K through 5th or a quiet Sunday? Yes, I know some of y'all did. Yes, B over there, that's right. And then, did you ever say you would volunteer in the nursery just to be on call in case a baby showed up? Or maybe a baby did show up and you were there? Did anybody do that? I know some people did that. Yes, Ellen did that, Rebecca did that. All right. Thank you all so much. Truly, you saw how many people are involved. Faith development is a whole congregation effort, and y'all are incredible in making it happen. There is one more person I do need to thank, because there's a leader we have in this congregation who really prioritizes faith development. He makes it a part of his ministry. He makes it clear that it matters that we do faith development for all ages. And so I'd like to just really quick call up Reverend Jamie Hinson-Rieger to the front. In case anybody is like, what the heck is going on? Before Reverend Jamie's installation, I asked the kids and youth some advice they had for how we could support our new minister and how our new minister could support them. And one of our amazing young people, Ella Martin, said, I think that our minister could throw candy at us, and we could throw candy at him. And so I mentioned that in his installation, and somebody got the brilliant idea that they should sell candy that Reverend Jamie likes in the auction and auction it off so that somebody would have the opportunity to throw candy at our minister. And in fact, thank you to Julie Zacharakis for bidding on that item and then donating it to the kids of First Parish. That was very kind of you. But in all seriousness, that wasn't just a ploy to get you up here so that they could throw candy at you. I really am deeply grateful to be serving with a minister who is so committed to faith development for all ages. Thank you. Yeah, I think that would be great. Why don't you come and grab a piece of candy to clean up, and maybe you can share it amongst yourselves. And now we learn if they really learned about sharing. All right. Back down. Oh yeah, certainly.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for that honor, for your appreciation. And today I learned your kids have good arms. Well done.
Carla, of course, is perfect timing always. And she said there's something missing from this moment of gratitude, and that's Annie, who also leads the charge in so many ways and guides us in our journey and also prioritizes faith development, and we appreciate that so greatly. So thank you, Dave.
Thank you so much.
Hey, I get candy too. Yes, sharing and giving what we have is an important part of First Parish. And to switch gears a little bit, we are going to hear from our Share the Plate recipient now to hear about another way that we can give to our community and live our values. So I'd love to invite up Dan Holen now from the Second Chance Cars to tell us a little more about this organization and how we can make a difference.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for being here on such a beautiful day. My name is Dan Holen, and I'm the executive director of Second Chance Cars. So Second Chance Cars is a Concord nonprofit that refurbishes donated cars, and with the help of 8 area vocational schools, we fix them up and then award them to lower income single moms, veterans, people coming out of prison, refugees, and others who need them to get to work. I'd like to introduce you virtually this morning to 2 people. Siting and Charles share how their life paths unexpectedly crossed and how our community of goodness came together to make it happen. So, Siting is a 32-year-old woman with long black hair and a great smile. She is a first-generation Chinese American who grew up in an affluent Texas suburb with 2 parents, both professionals. The family attended church regularly and practiced tithing religiously. Charles is a 59-year-old African-American from Georgia. Charles and his 13 siblings grew up poor. His mother was a nurse and his father a plumber. He is divorced and has 2 kids. He is also a disabled U.S. Navy veteran, and he also spent 7 years in prison. In 2022, Charles was living in a VA shelter in Lowell, trying to get his life and his career back on track. He was offered a desirable VA material handling job that required a car, but he could not afford a car. At the same time, Siting was working at UMass Medical in Worcester while getting her MBA at Wharton. She just graduated, actually, and was trying to find a way to donate her car so it could help someone. Charles and Siting's paths were never supposed to cross, yet they did, and with lasting impact. Charles now works at the Bedford VA and has been promoted to a peer support specialist. He is now actually referring other veterans to us for cars. And Siting has joined our board of directors and, like I said, just got her MBA. How did this happen? At the heart of our work is a construct I referred to earlier as the community of goodness. We believe that people who are in community are gooder, and if given an opportunity to do more good together, they will. Our community of goodness consists of car donors like Siting, volunteer financial counselors who work with applicants to ensure a car will earn more than it will cost, a bank that offers zero interest and credit building loans, vocational school teachers and students from Lowell, Lawrence, Lexington, and 5 other communities who refurbish our cars professionally and affordably, local suburban high school students who help clean and prepare cars for their award ceremony, social workers from 15 partner agencies who carefully select car-ready candidates, and an economically diverse community, and its representative who come together every time we award a car. When this community meets, including Siting and Charles, who met at whose car award ceremony, something magical and necessary happens. Diverse people come together to do good, to feel good, and often go on to do even more good. To conclude, some data. In 2023, our car recipients increased their working hours by 42%, their hourly pay by 60%, and their annual income by 80%, from $24,000 a year to $45,000 a year. So I'm here to invite you today to join our community of goodness by considering donating your car to our award-winning car donation program and to help us help good people get to work. Thank you.
It is incredible how that circle seems to get faster and faster. I'm sure for those of you who've been around more circles than I have, you know that better than I do. So it's incredible to me that the young people who were in the junior youth group when I first started working at First Parish are now some graduating seniors that we're honoring today. And we have 2 graduating seniors I want to name. One of them couldn't be here this morning because they had other commitments, but I wanted to start with them, and that's Alfie Van Prague. And Alfie was one of those kids who always kept me on my toes in junior youth group. They always had the most brilliant and well-formed argument for any point they had to make. And oftentimes those points were about like why they should get to have more snacks or play more games or not do that thing I said, but they always had it brilliantly thought through. And I remember when they did coming of age, they had an incredible credo that I found really powerful and moving about the way that systems of oppression influence all of our lives. And it was also a moment where they came out to the congregation as non-binary. Alfie has done sound for us, so you've maybe seen them quietly sneaking in to do some sound work for us, and we're really grateful for all that they've given to our community and for the mark they've made on it, and we will continue to love and support them as they make their way. And they are very excited about going to Montserrat College of Art in Beverly next year. And I have a copy of Becoming for them that I'll get to them somehow. I also want to take a moment to honor Lily Lavelle Coldwell, who is here with us this morning. And Lily was also in that JYG and just brought such sweet energy, such like, yes, let's do it energy. It was so wonderful to have you in JYG, and then in Coming of Age, that same loving, caring presence, those same thoughtful words. And I know it wasn't the easiest year to do Coming of Age. That was in the pandemic. It was a little tough. So I really am grateful to the way that you've also shown up and brought so much to this community. Lily's parents say that First Parish in Bedford has had a tremendous impact on Lily's moral and spiritual development. She's a deeply empathic and progressive thinker, which makes her friends and family very proud. And also, they want to credit the FPB music program, shout out to the music program, for introducing her to singing, a passion that she is committed to as a music major, and will stay with her for life. She is very excited to be attending Worcester Polytechnic Institute to study biology and biotechnology. So, Lily, would you come up and receive a copy of Becoming? Thank you. Very good. Thank you so much. This is one of the great joys of First Parish being a multi-generational community, that we get to watch young people grow. We get to hear from them in coming of age. We get to see them go off into the world. Sometimes they come back and visit. And it's truly a wonderful thing. But as I wrote in the inscription in Becoming, it's important to know that all the kids who grow up here always have a home here. Whether you stick around in Bedford and are here all the time, or whether you move to another country and we never see you again, you always have a community of love and care here for you and people who will support you in your journey. So thank you so much. And we have a closing hymn. It is number 1028, I think, The Fire of Commitment. It's in your teal hymnals.
This hymn doesn't have parts, but it has a tricky tune. So I'm going to say at the beginning of me introducing it, please rise in body or spirit, because the introduction to this hymn is like lighting fire. It goes fast, and then you've just got to jump into it. And then halfway through, you'll notice I'm playing your tune, sort of. It's a great tune. It's sort of swingy, The Fire of Commitment.
we close with these words from Wayne Arneson that I use to close Vespers regularly. They're also in this book, Becoming, which is a collection of words for young adults. Take courage, friends. The way is often hard, the path is never clear, and the stakes are very high. Take courage, for deep down there is another truth. You are not alone.
Before we move into our postlude, I just wanted to also extend a note of personal thanks and appreciation to Natan for his brilliant leadership and shepherding of our youth choir. And I want to thank again Reverend Annie for her fierce dedication to our children and youth, for her brilliant shepherding of our program, for everything that she brings to this community and to our kids and to our future. She is an inspiration. I am grateful and honored to be her colleague, and thank you for all that you do. Now let's wish upon a star.